Hey guys, welcome back to Prime Talk. Yet another video, and this is going to be a preview of game week 2 of the UEFA Champions League, and a few big games in there, a few important games for certain teams, because of course, if you didn't manage to get a victory on the first game week, then you must be looking to start off with 3 points in game week 2, and a few big games in there with for a club like clubs like Kairat Almaty hosting the mighty Real Madrid, and Pafos them hosting Bayern Munich. That's a big game for them. Also inclusive in there of some interesting ties. I'm looking at Marseille playing Ajax, Bodo Glimt, who are one of the other newcomers into the Champions League, hosting Spurs. Those just among the some of the interesting ties. Of course, there's Liverpool being there. Uh, Liverpool in there being away at the what they call the hellish stadium of Galatasaray. They will be in Turkey to play Galatasaray Liverpool. But for this video, as a Chelsea fan, I am going to focus on the return of Jose Mourinho at Stamford Bridge with Benfica. Chelsea hosting Benfica at Stamford Bridge. The return of one Jose Mourinho, the greatest ever manager in Chelsea's history. So, yeah, this is going to be majorly a preview of that game because I believe it is the most interesting and big tie of the day in the Champions League for game week 2 on Tuesday. So how we are going to do this is I'm going to follow in the same vein as the previews that I have done before for Chelsea. So we will do predicted lineup. We will do the prediction of the game, and also we will manage to talk a bit about the return of Jose Mourinho and everything. So welcome to the video, guys. And starting off first, it is the return of Jose Mourinho, the greatest ever manager in Chelsea football history. He, brought us the successes. He is the one that started it all off with the Premier League in, I believe, 2004 or 5, and or 5 or 6, if I'm not wrong. And it just kick-started everything. And I believe that was also the time that I did manage to become a Chelsea fan in that first spell of Jose Mourinho when he arrived. And him coming back, it brings a lot of memories, good memories of what Chelsea used to be. Granted, this time we are in a different under different management, going in a different direction, with a different strategy of young players growing and developing them as a team to dominate in the future. And really, it will be a really wonderful test for us, for our young boys to come up against a team that is managed by Jose Mourinho. So all huge respect to Jose Mourinho, but we will be here, to gain and gather 3 points because we need them after our loss heavily against Bayern Munich. So for me, I going into the predicted lineup, for me, this is what I will choose to go for. In goal, it's going to be Robert Sanchez, and he will be flanked with a back four of Rhys James and Trevor Chalobah. And at left-sided centre back, I will play one Benoit Badiashile. He is back, thank God. And at left back, of course, it's going to be Marco Correa. And in midfield, sadly, Andre Santos did suffer a knock against Brighton, so he will not be available. But Romeo Lavia is back, so I will start him in this game and play Romeo Lavia with Enzo Fernandez and give Moises Caicedo a rest here. And then moving on into the attacking quartet, I will go for Alejandro Garnacho on the left, and I will play Estevao William in the 10, or preferably, I would actually scrap that. I will play Facundo Bonanote in the 10, and I will play Estevao William at right wing to give Pedro Neto a rest, and of course, Joao Pedro up top to start with. And I believe with that lineup, we should be able to do well. Just to recap the lineup: Robert Sanchez in goal, Reece James at right back with Trev Chaloba and Benoit Badiashile as your two centre backs, with Marco Correa, of course, at left back. And then moving on into, the midfield with, as mentioned, uh, Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia, who is returning for this game. And on the attack, Alejandro Garnacho on the left wing, Facundo Buenanote in the 10, Estevao William on the right wing, so to give Pedro Neto a rest here, and then Joao Pedro up top. And with that lineup, I do trust and believe we will be able to get the job done. And I hope that they start on the front foot, and make our case, put the agenda, and force Benfica back completely and force them to just defend for the entire game. So, with that being said, my prediction for the game is going to be a 2-0 victory for Chelsea, and I trust that we will be able to get the job done and get our first victory of us being back in the Champions League, and at least help us in our way, or send us on our way to getting qualification straight into the round of 16, instead of going through all the hassle of the knockout phase in the next stage of the competition. So that's it, guys, for Chelsea v Benfica and the Champions League return for the Blues. So thank you for watching, and please have a lovely day.